everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I just want to talk about something and really ask other people if they want to share their own little thing. But how many of us have done stuff in the past, say when we were younger, even now, up till now, that is different than what other people do, and they pointed out that it's different? You know, like, it is kind of sometimes maybe even ahead of the times for other people to see it as like normal. For example, I had my first computer when I was back in 1982. Okay, in 1982, you had a computer all the way through the 90s, really. Maybe even later than that. If you had a computer, you were thought of as a 4-letter word, which was geek. Okay, it was actually considered, you know, a dirty 4-letter word, kind of. You were weird. Yeah, and I remember going through a time when people really would say things bad about it, and we called them non-modems. You know, non-modem. I don't even know if people these days, many people know what a modem is at all. But yeah, you know, I had my first computer back then. I learned how to. I started off as a math and computer science major, by the way, and I learned how to program in BASIC, Pascal, and I think, if I'm not wrong, a little bit of Fortran. I think it was called Fortran. So I'm dating myself here. Yeah, so it was a long time ago. But people, you know, thought it was so weird. You know, I was so weird. Some people just didn't know what to think at all, I guess, or didn't want to say anything. But because I had a computer, you know. Okay, now I'm going to go backwards a little bit. When I was a kid, I had we went to a church convention. That's what they call them, church convention. And I was a kid, I think I was 10 years old. And I met this other little girl that was 10 years old, you know, and she lived in a different part of Texas, and we started writing one another letters, you know, and I also had I think she was a second cousin, and she and I also wrote letters to one another. So that it kind of developed from there. I had a friend who found something one year when I think we were 15 or 16. I think we were 16. And it was about pen pals across the world, and we started doing that. Yeah, we even had our own post office box, and I had a car, so we were allowed to leave campus during, high school campus during lunch, so we'd go and check our mail and, things like that. Okay, now we didn't tell other people about that because we knew that people would, too many, kids in high school would make fun of it that we had pen pals from across the, globe. And so, yeah, I still remember it was so, we enjoyed it. We couldn't wait to go check our mail to see if we had, and she and I shared a mailbox, and to see if we had mail. It was something different. We lived in a small, I'd say a small city. It had, I don't know, I think now it has around 10,000 population, and that was many years ago. So, but it was kind of like, everybody knew one another kind of place, and you didn't really back then get much out of it. We only had 3 channels on TV, so you didn't really see all that much, and on the outside, from the outside world. And to us, having pen pals from across the globe was something special, and I think that's when I turned 18. I'd moved out. I got married when I was 18. Been divorced for almost as long, but so we had, when I was 18, I got a computer. 18 or 19, I gotta think about that. But yeah, I got a computer, and it was I think it was a VIC-20. No, I had one before that too. It was a TI, Texas Instrument. I don't remember which one though. Okay, and also one of my sisters had I could be wrong on this. Her husband had was it Apple back then, or what was it back then? It changed more than once. But anyway, yeah, we learned, I learned different things to do on computers. But yeah, we were thought of as, no matter what, it was weird. Now the reason I said this about the pen pals is because that went on in my life. Like I was when I was a student, we started using what was a VAX system or something, and on it, we communicated with people from other universities, and one of them, we became pen pals. Yeah. There was a lot of this kind of thing going on back then, because really the internet wasn't all that. You couldn't communicate with people. Now it's, people do it. They don't see it that weird. But yeah, so most of it back then was pen pals through snail mail, real actual postal mail. And but the reason I was talking about that was because there was a woman on there, and she would write me letters. Not a woman on there. See, I've got too used to the computer, the internet, but in the snail mail, the postal mail, she would write to me stuff all about her life and all kinds of things and everything. And eventually, I told her that I did this was long ago, that I had started doing an online diary, and she thought that was just too strange, and she didn't really want to talk to me anymore because it was just too strange, me telling strangers about my life. Yet she was doing that to me and probably other ones in letters, and they would actually have her address, you see? Yeah, so people can be very judgmental about something that they're doing something very similar to it. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that's my examples, is doing something that other people think is just strange, and mine involved communicating with people outside of when it comes down to it, outside of my own area, and that really, it does sum it up. They think that's odd, that's strange, that anybody would do that. Anybody would talk about themselves or their lives or whatever. Now, I will say that as time went on, I learned not to share too much information. I was actually stalked, cyber stalked. And the guy, it was a guy, and this was back in the 90s. He actually, it was freaky, seriously. I had moved, and he knew where I moved. He described my apartment. Well, he could have gone to the apartment manager, gotten what the apartments looked like, and described it in kind of detail. Not that he hadn't been in it, but yeah, you can get whatever they're called, that shows, what the apartments look like, the size and all that. It was freaky. So I would never get any kind of thing ever again that, would even hint of where I was, really. Okay, I had to delete a couple of clips after that. So I don't know where I left off, but, yeah. What I was saying, I think, is that I'd learned not to get anything out where people can find out where you live. And some of you know that I had at one time on YouTube made a little video as I was backing up out of my driveway at home. I didn't leave it up there very long when I thought about it. Because you get used to being like just some people watching, and you don't think of them as, anybody who would be like that. But it turns out, it could be, so it might not be that best, that good of an idea. And some people do give, their street address for exchanging packages, or giveaways or something like that. And really, to each their own. But I know that I've done some things that wouldn't be considered very safe. But since I had been, or that would be too safe, maybe I should say. But since I had been, cyber stalked, that this person was actually in my world. He was actually, knowing things about me he shouldn't know. And he actually sent me it was way back then, I had graduated. He sent me a bowling ball in the mail. He did not have my address. He got my address. I didn't give it to him. He got it somehow. And sent me a bowling ball in the mail. Yeah, weird. Okay, I'm seriously starting to ramble. But yeah, anyway, what was I talking about? I just went and got my mail. I checked my mailbox apparently it's been at least 2 weeks, because I had 2 weeks of, maybe around 2 weeks. 2 weeks of those things weekly things that you get in the mail, all the trash advertisement you get. Yeah, it goes in the trash. But I had 2 of those, so it's from 2 weeks. But I'm going to start checking my mail on a regular basis. I think I had mail returned because I didn't check it on a regular basis, and yeah, so I've decided I'm going to do it at least, try to make myself do it at least once a week, and then come out here to this area. And I like this area. There are some stores. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this rambling video. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.